over some recent book pickups that I have gotten over the last 2 or 3 months or so. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books here that I'm going to be showing you, but first I'm going to light this candle just to get a little bit of ambiance going. This is a juicy watermelon slice candle by Candlelight brand, and let's give it a sniff. It's a very strong watermelon taste, kind of like a candy watermelon, like a Sour Patch Kid type watermelon taste, like a gummy candy. It smells very kind of sugary. We have our lighter here and our candle. There we are. I'm going to set my lighter down on the floor here. Okay, we're going to set this candle right here to provide some light. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the book, and then I'm going to read the synopsis off the back. You know, look at the cover, look at the back of the book, and then say how many pages there are. And these are going in order, not of how I purchased them, but size. So the smallest books are on the top, physically smallest books are on the top, and the largest books are on the bottom. And we are starting with the United States of Japan. Now, to read the synopsis, it says, decades ago, Japan won the Second World War. Americans worship their infallible emperor, and nobody believes that Japan's conduct in the war was anything but exemplary. Nobody, that is, except the George Washingtons, a shadowy group of rebels fighting for freedom. Their latest subversive tactic is to distribute an illegal video game that asks players to imagine what the world might be like if the United States had won the war instead. Captain Beniko Ishimura's job is to censor video games, and he's tasked with getting to the bottom of this disturbing new development. But Ishimura's hiding something. He's slowly been discovering that the case of the George Washingtons is more complicated than it seems, and the subversive video game's origins are even more controversial and dangerous than the censors suspected. Part detective story, part brutal alternate history, United States of Japan is a stunning science fiction novel in the vein of Philip K. Dick's The Man in the High Castle. And this book was written by Peter Tirias, I believe is how it's pronounced. A couple of things. I love mecha stuff, like Gundam. Growing up, I loved Gundam. I still love Gundam. Evangelion, Macross, that sort of stuff. So when I saw the cover, when I saw this big, giant robot with, just everything going on, just dwarfing the bridge by comparison, I knew this was right up my alley. I love alternate history books. I just think it's a super interesting genre, just exploring what ifs. And the aspect, the video game aspect, I thought was interesting, kind of like propaganda in a way, but in a more modern form of propaganda than what we usually think of. So overall, I have not read this book yet, but I'm excited to start reading this. Okay, this one actually I almost left out. This actually I just got in the mail yesterday, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. Now, if you saw my video going over my favorite movies of all time, you would know that is my favorite director. This is a novelization of his most recent film of the same name, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Leonardo DiCaprio. And he has some of the other side characters on the back of the book here. And it says the new novel based on the film. Let's see. So, this is the synopsis. Rick Dalton. Once he had his own TV series, but now Rick's a washed-up villain of the week, drowning his sorrows in whiskey sours. Will a phone call from Rome save his fate or seal it? Cliff Booth, Rick's stunt double and the most infamous man on any movie set, because he's the only one there who might have gotten away with murder. Sharon Tate, she left Texas to chase a movie star dream and found it. Sharon's salad days are now spent on Cielo Drive, high in the Hollywood Hills. Charles Manson, the ex-con's got a bunch of zonked-out hippies thinking he's their spiritual leader, but he traded all to be a rock and roll star. Hollywood, 1969. You should have been there. I think that's a fantastic synopsis. And they have, I can't remember the name of the dog at the moment, but they have the dog there on the spine of the book. I think that's interesting. If you've seen the movie, you know the dog has some pretty good scenes towards the end. Anyway, I almost forgot that one. Excuse me for 1 second. I need to take a sip here of this this hint flavored water. If you've never had hint water, it's really good. I usually don't like flavored water, but this is the only flavored water I like. And now for a book that I have read before, but I finally have my own copy of it. I previously rented it from the library, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. I had to pick this up with the movie coming out soon, starring Timothée Chalamet, and Jason Momoa's in it, and some other people I can't remember at the moment. But if you don't know what Dune this is like the, as you can see how thick this is. Oh, I forgot to go over the page counts of those books. They're shorter books, but I'll do that now. Let's see. This Dune is 863 pages. It's definitely not short, and this is like, one of just the big dogs in the sci-fi world. This is a juggernaut of the sci-fi genre. Super deep lore, super just great storytelling, really involved storytelling. Just a great series of novels. I've only read Dune. I believe there are 4 or 5 total books. I might be mistaken, but there's 4 or 5. I know the general plot points and what happens in the stories, but I've only fully read the first book here, written by Frank Herbert. Okay. Frank Herbert's classic masterpiece, a triumph of the imagination, and one of the best-selling science fiction novels of all time. Set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of the boy Paul Atreides, who would become known as Muad'Dib, and of a great family's ambition to bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. A stunning blend of adventure and mysticism, environmentalism and politics, Dune won the first Nebula Award, shared the Hugo Award, and formed the basis of what is undoubtedly the grandest epic in science fiction. My friend actually bought this book for me. I've mentioned him before in the hockey video, but when he came down to visit, we went to a bookstore here. That's a pretty famous bookstore, and he actually purchased this and surprised me with it, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. On to the next book here. And that is Hope Never Dies by Andrew Vice President, but now President Joe Biden. Now, for the synopsis. America needs a hero. We've got two of them. It's been several months since the 2016 presidential election, and Uncle Joe Biden is puttering around his house, crowding the tile in his master bathroom, feeling lost and adrift in an America that doesn't make sense anymore. But when his favorite Amtrak conductor dies in a suspicious accident, Joe feels a familiar desire to serve, and he leaps into the role of amateur sleuth with a little help from his old friend, President Barack Obama, codename Renegade. Together, they'll plumb the darkest depths of Delaware, traveling from cheap motels to biker bars and beyond, as they uncover the sinister forces advancing America's opioid epidemic. Part action thriller, part mystery, part bromance, and, in parentheses, just to be clear, 100% fiction. Hope Never Dies imagines life after the Oval Office for two of America's greatest heroes. Together they'll prove that justice has no term limits. Obviously just a silly piece of fiction, I guess, sort of. An alternate history novel, though not a gritty, dark, disturbing one like the United States or Japan. This book is, let's see here, 301 pages, so pretty short. And also, if you'll take a look here, it's a pretty large font. I'd say that's like a size 14 font, maybe. I don't know. I have a hard time judging those things, but it seems like a pretty beefy font. And you can see it's kind of interesting. There's in the top, it says an Obama-Biden mystery, and to the best of my knowledge, he has written a second book. I'd be interested to see if he's going to do a third one now that Biden has become president. So we'll see. But this is another one that I have not read yet, but I am excited when I finish up the two that I am currently reading, which are actually the next two on the list here. I think this is my next one on the list. Okay, now to one of the two books that I am currently in the middle of reading, and that is Bayern Creating a Global Super Club by Uli Hesse. FC Bayern, or Bayern Munich, or Bayern München is my favorite soccer team or football team, for the Europeans out there. So I saw this, I picked this up on Amazon for I think like $4 or $5. It's not a new book by any means, but it's new to me. I think this was written in, let's see, this was written in 2016, so 5 years old now at this point, and Bayern has definitely had some accomplishments since then. They won the treble last season. They won their 9th Bundesliga championship in a row this season. So this book is definitely one that could be expanded, but this is more a history of the club, and it kind of talks about how they got from humble beginnings, not even being in the first league in the Bundesliga, into now where they are a global power, one of the richest clubs in the world, one of the most popular clubs in the world. It's a really interesting story. I'm about halfway through right now, and we're starting to get closer, like to the 80s and 90s, where things are really picking up steam around where I'm at in the book. And I'm excited to get into the late 90s, which is when I started watching the team. I imagine I'll probably get there in another 50, 60 pages or so. I'm gonna take another sip here. My throat's been very dry today. I don't know why. This is another book I'm in the middle of reading, and that is is the Hellfire Club by Jake Tepper. This is, let's see, actually, I am messing up today. I realized I forgot to read the synopsis on that Byron book, but I feel like I did a decent job with the synopsis, pretty straightforward, but I will read the synopsis for the Hellfire Club. Charlie Martyr is a World War II veteran and a popular academic. He's also an unlikely congressman, thrust into office by his power broker father's connections. Idealistic and determined, Charlie wants to use his new position for good. He quickly learns, however, that in 1950s Washington, little is as it seems. Struggling to navigate the treacherous waters alongside real-life figures such as President Dwight Eisenhower, Senator John F. Kennedy, and Roy Cohn, Charlie is confronted by a world in the throes of McCarthyism where no one trusts anyone. Alongside his pregnant wife, Margaret, a zoologist with ambitions of her own, Charlie struggles to do what is right while learning more about the mysterious circumstances of his predecessor's death. Amid the swirl of glamorous and powerful politicians and businessmen, a fatal car accident plunges Charlie and Margaret into an underworld of dark bargains, secret societies, and a conspiracy that could change the course of history. When Charlie learns too much, he has to fight not only for his principles and his newfound political career, but for his life. So this is like another alternate history type novel. I guess you're kind of sensing a pattern here. I'm a big politics nerd. I get big into politics. You'll notice, obviously, with The Hope Never Dies, and then this one here. I've always, I have a minor in political science. I've considered, working for political campaigns before. I have worked on political campaigns, but not in a broad, not in like a detailed sense. Like I haven't worked under like a congressperson or a presidential candidate or something like that. But I think that would be interesting to do. So I love like these sort of books that are like political fiction, things like that. Kind of like I like The West Wing, House of Cards, Veep, stuff like that. So this is like right up my alley. So far, I'm about a quarter of the way through. It's a little slow in the beginning, but I feel like it's starting to pick up the last chapter and a half or so. There's really starting to be some more momentum, and the only criticism I have, and this is Jake Tapper's first novel, so or a fictional novel, I should say. He has some non-fiction stuff, but his first fictional novel. The beginning of the book's a little abrupt. The pacing's a little weird in the beginning. It's the only thing I really haven't liked so far, but there's some really interesting bits, like you get to meet some historical figures. Woodrow Wilson's in the book, John F. Kennedy, like it said. And let's see, and this book is 339 pages, and as you can see, this is another one that kind of has a thicker font there, maybe a little bit of a smaller font than Hope Never Dies, but definitely. I also realized I didn't do the font or talk about the page numbers for the Byron book. I'm still relatively new to this. You're gonna have to give me some slack here. Okay. Now, one thing to remember about me: Star Wars fan. And I was very excited when this series of books was announced, and that is Star Wars: The High Republic, Flight of the Jedi, and this is a prequel novel series. And I believe there's also going to be a cartoon set in the same universe, but prequel. That's kind of like superseding the Legends, Old Republic type stuff. And I just love this cast of characters you have on the cover here. You have a Wookiee Jedi here. You have this, this woman with the green lightsaber. I love green lightsabers. You have this guy, and then this male Twi'lek with the yellow lightsaber. And let's see on the back. back, it says, for over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice. So we're going to see more of the Jedi. I believe this is, I haven't started reading this book yet either. I know this is a big help me showing these books I haven't even read yet, but like I said, they're new pickups. But I believe it's the Jedi when they're more to the height of their power, whereas in the movies, even the prequels, their power is starting to wane a bit and the politics is creeping in. But this is before all that. This is when it's all Force, all lightsabers, baby. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and here's the. Also, this is written by Charles Sula, maybe one of those two. Anyways, here's the synopsis. It is a golden age. Intrepid hyperspace scouts expand the reach of the Republic to the farthest stars. Worlds flourish under the benevolent leadership of the Senate, and peace reigns, enforced by the wisdom and strength of the renowned order of Force users known as the Jedi. With the Jedi at the height of their power, the free citizens of the galaxy are confident in their ability to weather any storm. But even the brightest light can cast a shadow, and some storms defy any preparation. When a shocking catastrophe in hyperspace tears a ship to pieces, the flurry of shrapnel emerging from the disaster threatens an entire system. No sooner does the call for help go out than the Jedi race to the scene. The scope of the emergence, however, is enough to push even Jedi to their limit. As the sky breaks open and destruction rains down upon the peaceful alliance they help to build, the Jedi must trust in the Force to see them through a day in which a single mistake could cost billions of lives. Even as the Jedi battle valiantly against calamity, something truly deadly grows beyond the boundary of the Republic. The hyperspace disaster is far more sinister than the Jedi could ever suspect. A threat hides in the darkness, far from the light of the age, and harbors a secret that could strike fear into even a Jedi's heart. I just want to show you this title page real quick. This title page is awesome. You have Star Wars there, you know, just in big font, and then it has that the symbol of the High Republic there surrounding it. I think that looks really neat. Now let's see. This book is. Gotta flip here to the ends. This book is 377 pages, and this is about what the font looks like. So, about an average sized font, you know, it's about 3, 4, 5 paragraphs per page. Now, for the final book, and I said earlier, bit of a politics nerd. When this autobiography was announced, I was very excited. I had been looking forward to this for quite a while, and I actually bought this. I don't know if you saw my videos, my NBA 2K videos from a few months back, but I was in Phoenix in March, and I actually purchased this while I was in Phoenix. This book is very thick. I've not started yet. This is probably the last one on my list because I have a lot to get through, and this is going to take up so much time. I don't have a lot of free time to read. Anyways, and that is Barack Obama's A Promised Land. And you have this big black and white full-page portrait of Barack Obama right there, the 44th President of the United States. On the back of the book, you have this very solemn, somber picture of him looking out of the White House towards I believe that's the Washington Monument in the background there. And it's just the light, you know, he's just silhouetted there. I think it's a really pretty picture. let's read the synopsis here. It's a bit of a long synopsis, so bear with me. In the stirring, highly anticipated first volume of his presidential memoirs, Barack Obama tells the story of his improbable odyssey from young man searching for his identity to leader of the free world, describing in strikingly personal detail both his political education and landmark moments of the first term of his historical presidency, a time of dramatic transformation and turmoil. Obama takes readers on a compelling journey from his earliest political aspirations to the pivotal Iowa caucus victory that demonstrated the power of grassroots activism to the watershed night of November 4th, 2008, when he was elected 44th President of the United States, becoming the first African American to hold the nation's highest office. Reflecting on the presidency, he offers a unique and thoughtful exploration of both the awesome reach and the limits of presidential power, as well as singular insights into the dynamics of U.S. partisan politics and international diplomacy. Obama brings readers inside the Oval Office and the White House Situation Room, into Moscow, Cairo, Beijing, and points beyond. We are privy to his thoughts as he assembles his cabinet, wrestles with a global financial crisis, takes the measure of Vladimir Putin, overcomes seemingly insurmountable odds to secure passage of the Affordable Care Act, clashes with generals about U.S. strategy in Afghanistan, tackles Wall Street reform, responds to the devastating Deepwater Horizon blowout, and authorizes Operation Neptune Spear, which leads to the death of Osama bin Laden. A Promised Land is extraordinarily intimate and introspective, the story of one man's bet with history, the faith of a community organizer tested on the, and it continues to the other side of the dust cover, dust sheet cover. I forget this wrong. I'll reread that sentence. The story of one man's bet with history, the faith of a community organizer tested on the world stage. Obama is candid about the balancing act of running for office as a Black American, bearing the expectations of a generation buoyed by messages of hope and change, and meeting the moral challenges of high-stakes decision-making. He is frank about the forces that opposed him at home and abroad, open about how living in the White House affected his wife and daughters, and unafraid to reveal self-doubt and disappointment. Yet he never wavers from his belief that inside the great ongoing American experiment, progress is always possible. This beautifully written and powerful book captures Barack Obama's conviction that democracy is not a gift from on high, but something founded on empathy and common understanding and built together day by day. So, like I said, a very long synopsis there, and a bit longer than even I was expecting. Went on to a second page there. But anyway, that is the last book of my recent pickups here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Something a little different. I have the candlelight here, drinking the water, just doing it with the webcam in my face instead of looking at my desk with whatever's in front of me. I thought this was an interesting format. Maybe not preferential to what I've done before, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll make another ASMR video like this one. But anyways, let me pull out this candle here real fast. Bring this up here. Watch the smoke rise off of that there. And let's put the lid on it. That's that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video.